What's up, guys? This is What's Cooking Neighbor. I'm your host, Don Smith, and I'm about to take your taste bud on a culinary journey. And what we're cooking today is chicken piccata. If you come on over here, guys, this is the ingredients that we have, and this is real easy to do. And there's different versions of this dish today. I'm going to spice it up a little bit. I'm going to be putting my own little twist on it. But the original chicken piccata, we would have chicken, and you would have capers and a little lemon, a lemon zest, and a lemon juice, and a little white wine. But I'm going to kick it up a notch. I'm going to be using some artichokes and some portobello baby mushrooms. And we also have some onions here, garlic, that's always a staple, and white wine. Guys, whenever you cook with white wine, please don't go into the grocery store, whether it's Kroger's or Walmart or wherever you're going, and use cooking wine. The store-bought cooking wine is horrible. Go get yourself some good wine. The old saying is, if you're not gonna drink it, then you don't cook with it. And that is exactly the truth. Now, guys, we also are gonna have a little chicken broth. We're gonna have some little classic olive oil and some salt and pepper and some Italian seasoning. Now, let's get started. We have our chicken here, and let's just season that up. Now, always, I have my Himalayan sea salt here. A little sea salt goes on that. Fresh ground black pepper. Just like that. Always season both sides, guys. Food is horrible with one-sided tasting food. Black pepper, a little seasoning, a little salt, and here we go. Now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go over here to the stove, and we're gonna cut this front burner on, get our pan going, and I've already have our water going. Now, what we're gonna pair our chicken piccata with is linguine. And since it's already going, guys, we're just gonna open this up and get our pasta in, because pasta is gonna take a little longer than this whole dish is. Now, I'm gonna do something here that if I was Italian, they would kill me for, but I have a lot of kids, and I gotta make things stretch out as much as possible, so I'm just gonna break this up. That way we're gonna get what we needed, exploding pasta everywhere. And I've got a salt and a little olive oil in here and a little black pepper to give this linguine some seasoning before it even starts going. Now we're gonna come back over here, get this out of the way. Our chicken. Now, usually with this you would use flour, but I'm going to use baking powder because I think it gives it a better consistency and a better texture. And you don't need a lot anyway, so what we're gonna do, just like so. Now we're gonna do that on both sides, but before we get that going, we're gonna come back over here to the stove where our pan is going, and we're gonna drop some butter in there and get that going. And clean all this pasta that I had flying everywhere, because I'm a very messy cook. We're gonna use a rubber spatula. Never use metal on this because it messes up your skillet. So we're gonna get our butter going. It's not gonna take long for that, guys. Now, our chicken. Before that, we're gonna add just a little bit of olive oil to this. So it helps the butter not to burn. Adding olive oil or vegetable oil or any kind of oil to your butter when you're sauteing or pan frying something, because of the high cooking context of the butter and the oil, and it all evens itself out. Now what we're gonna do right now is get both sides of our chicken floured. If you gotta add just a little bit more, then do it. And as usual, I'm making a mess. We'll clean that up later. Don't worry about it. Just have fun with it. And what's more fun than making a mess? All right, here we go. We're gonna take our chicken and we're gonna brown up both sides of this. One of these dishes, chicken piccata, you can get them in restaurants, you can get them everywhere, but I mean, it's very cheap to make and it's very easy to make. And why go to a restaurant and spend $15, $16 when you can go to the grocery store, get your own ingredients, come home and make it, and it's even more delicious than it is at a restaurant. Now, when we're gonna go back here, we're gonna get a quick wash in my hand. We're gonna put this plate away. We're gonna wash my hands up. We're gonna wash this plate again too because we're gonna use it again. Once we take our chicken out, just give it a quick wash up. Just dry my hands real quick. Come over here and clean up all the mess I just made. And it doesn't take long for this chicken to cook. Now, usually you will get a thick piece of chicken breast, you will cut it in half, and you'll take a meat mallet and you'll put it between two pieces of plastic and you'll pound it. I'm gonna cut this down because I don't want this to burn. Cut it down about a medium-low heat. And you will pound the chicken out flat, and then you would cook like this. But when I went to the store, I bought relatively thin pieces of chicken breast anyway, so you don't need to pound it out, and it's gonna cook quicker. So we're just gonna brown this up, and it's going nicely. Our pasta's boiling away back here. Nicely. Now, while our chicken is going, capers. Capers are one of the main ingredients in chicken piccata, but artichokes are not. I love artichokes and I love mushrooms, and baby portobello mushrooms are meaty, delicious, and flavorful, and we're gonna pair that with this artichoke. And we're gonna see what happens, guys. This is not set in stone. This is not science. This is just having fun in the kitchen. That's what I love to do. Garlic, onions, nothing better than garlic and onions. And then you're gonna put that in with a little parsley and white wine. And all this is gonna come together with a spectacular dish, something I hope you guys are going to enjoy. Let's go over here and check on our chicken now. It's browning nicely. Flip them over. And if you don't cook it all the way through, don't worry about it because we're gonna put it back in once we get all our sauce and all our other ingredients together. We're gonna put the chicken back in there to finish it off. So if you don't cook it all the way through the first time, don't worry about it because we are gonna put it back in here and we are gonna finish it off cooking. Then once this brown on both sides, just a little bit longer. And what we're gonna do is, once we brown it on both sides, we're gonna come over here and we're gonna start adding our other ingredients. We're gonna saute our onions, saute our garlic and get that going and get it translucent and get all the flavors out of it. We don't want it to brown or anything. We just wanted to get translucent and get that flavor out into the skillet. And then we're gonna start adding our other ingredients. And then we're gonna add just that lemon in there, the lemon juice, and that's gonna set it off and it's gonna be unbelievably delicious. All right, guys, let's take a look. It's almost there. And it's up to you how brown you want it to get. The more brown it is, the more that fond is gonna be on the bottom of it, and fond is the stuff at the bottom of your pan, and when you deglaze it, it becomes a beautiful au jus or dish, or gravy. It's starting to smell good in here, guys. One of these days, someone is going to invent smell-o-vision. And once they do that, I think we're all going to be more happy for it. Give us another little flip. And this, you can pair this with anything, whether it be rice, whether it be any other kind of pasta, or just by itself. It's just as delicious, I can tell you that. But linguine, it's a pasta that I don't eat a lot, but I really enjoy eating it, and I thought it would pair well with this. So we're gonna try it out and see what happens. Our chicken is just about done, browning up on all sides. All right, we're gonna take this out. Take our chicken out now and set it aside. Now remember, it doesn't have to be cooked all the way through at this point, because we are putting it back into the dish to finish it off at the end of it, and it will continue to cook that way. And there we go. Now to this, we're gonna cut it down, and we're gonna add butter and a little olive oil, and we're gonna put all our ingredients into it. And then when we come back, we are going to finish this unbelievably good dish, chicken piccata. We got mushrooms, onions, garlic. We got everything but the kitchen sink going into this. And we'll be right back, and we're gonna finish this dish.
Whether you're 2 or 102, the Tigerville Grill has something for you. Take advantage of the Build Your Own Burger menu. In the mood for something small? Choose one of the many delicious slider options. Call ahead and use our fast and easy drive-thru. Oh, that cool freestyle fountain drink machine? We've still got it. The Tigerville Grill, located at 314 North Columbia Avenue and open to the public 11 to 8 daily.
What's up, guys? This is What's Cooking Neighbor, and we are cooking chicken piccata, and we are well on our way. What we're going to do right now is we're going to take our linguine over here to the sink, and we are going to drain the water off of that. Now our linguine is pretty much done, and it's just going to be sitting and waiting for it to be paired up with something delicious, and it's about to. Now, we got our chicken out. Now it's time to start on the sauce. Now, piccata means saute or to cook in butter, and that's exactly what we're gonna do right now. So what we're gonna, cook in lemon, not butter, excuse me. But we're gonna come over here, we're gonna dump some butter, we're gonna cut this back up. Get this butter going, and as you can see, there's a lot of goodness down there on the bottom of this pan, and we're just kind of scrape all that up because that's flavor. And again, butter burns fast. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a little olive oil to this to help that process and not to burn. Now, while this is starting to cook down, it's starting to look nice, we're gonna come over here and we're gonna grab our garlic and our onions and our mushrooms. Onions going first. We're gonna add our onions in first. Now again, we just wanna saute our onions. We don't wanna brown them up, and what's the best way to do that? Salt. Salt will help stop it from browning, and that is because it pulls out all the moisture out of the onions and it just sautés and it turns translucent and it doesn't brown up or burn. Pepper, oh, here you go. Come back up here, guys. Fresh ground black pepper. Saute this, get this nice and translucent. I love the smell of onions, especially when you saute it in butter. Now, as you can see right now, it's getting nice and translucent. Let's go in with our garlic. And we do not want to burn our garlic. It gets very bitter, and you just don't want that in your dish. Give that a quick saute too, and what we're doing right now is we're just getting the bitterness out of our garlic. And it burns very, very fast. So let's go in with the mushroom. The mushroom absorbs everything. So all this oil and butter that we have in here right now, the mushroom's gonna suck it right up. All the smells in here, it's unbelievable. Now we do want to, again, season as we go. I always say that, season as you go. A little salt, a little fresh ground black pepper. And as you can see, all that oil and butter that was in there is pretty much gone away now. And all that flavor and all that deliciousness is in the mushrooms now. Now again, this is my take on chicken piccata. There's dozens and dozens of ways to do this. I'm sure there's a bunch of Italian grandmothers is telling me right now, you don't know what you're doing. You shouldn't be doing this because you're destroying our dish. But cooking is all about having fun and doing what you love to do. And if you love to cook, and when you cook and people eat your food, they're going to taste that love. And this is going to make you feel even better about what you're doing. And we're going to cut this down on a medium heat. And we're going to come back over here. Now it's time for well, before we get to the traditional part of it, we're going to add the other least traditional thing. We're going to have artichokes. Now these artichokes are in a marinade. Now you can get them in oil, or you can get them in water, or you can just get them in a can. I don't like them in a can. These are more fresh. If you want to go to the store and buy your own fresh artichokes and go through all the hassle of cutting them and cleaning them and all that, you can do that too. But I just prefer to go get these in a jar in the marinade, because it's already cut up and cleaned up for you, and it's already packed with flavor because it's been in that marinade. Now we're gonna get these a rough chop. Again, guys, we're not French cooks, so it really doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be uniform or perfect or any way. Just give it a rough chop. Small dices, bite-sized pieces. And now we're gonna bring this over to our pan, and we're gonna add our artichokes. Now, okay, Italian grandmothers, I'm done destroying your dish now. We're gonna get back to the traditional part of this. Give this a quick saute, get everything, all these ingredients going together, get them happy. Everybody's swimming in the pool now. It's a beautiful sunny day, and these guys are getting to know each other and having a lot of fun. But we got more people coming to the pool. So we're just gonna let that hang out. Now, to the traditional part of this dish. We're gonna go in with some capers. Now these capers are in a brine, as it were, and we're gonna add just a little bit of that oil, but we're gonna go back here to the sink. We're gonna pour some of this out first. All right, here we go. Add your capers. The capers are very salty, so use at your own discretion. Some people like a lot, some people don't like a lot. Again, you're cooking the food, you cook it the way you want to cook it. And you can smell the capers as soon as it hit the pan. Now, lemon. I'm going to use a whole lemon. Of course, you can zest your lemon and use like a half a lemon and then use lemon zest, which I would prefer, but I don't have a lemon zester, so we're going to go this route. The lemon zest is where most of the flavor is on your lemon. If you've never tried lemon zest, try it. It's very delicious. And at this point, this is where my kids will be coming into the kitchen and, Daddy, Daddy, can I have the lemon? I want the lemon. No, why does she get the lemon? I want the lemon. So of course we have to have lemon for everybody. Even my oldest 13-year-old will fight with his 6 and 7-year-old daughters for a lemon. Unbelievable. Let's go on with the second half of this. It was a very juicy lemon, probably more than I needed, but hey, let's have fun with it. We're gonna cut this back up and we're gonna get this going. Get the lemon incorporated with the mushrooms and the artichokes and the onions and the garlic. And we're not done yet. No, no, no. Still more fun to be had. As soon as we get all this incorporated. Now, we're going to come over here and we're going to add our chicken back in here. Remember that we didn't fully cook this chicken all the way through, so this is what we're going to do now. And add all them juices back into that. Now, we're going to take this back here to the sink and drop this guys off. Give my hand a quick wipe off. And we're going to add just a little bit of a black pepper to our chicken. Do a little cleanup. Now, at this time, we're going to add some chicken broth. No, first we're going to add our white wine. Remember what I said. If you ever use wine when you cook, please use the wine that you're going to drink. Never go to the store and buy cooking wine from the grocery store. It's just don't do it. And this is about a cup and a half of white wine. And we're going to want to reduce this. So I'm going to cut this up. And we're going to reduce this white wine. And while we reduce, as you can see right here, that it is over the chicken. So it's going to help cook that chicken even faster. Give it a quick stir. Bring this guy back up to a boil. Scraping the bottom. Getting all that deliciousness off the bottom of that. Adding to this. It's going to help thicken it up a little bit. And we're going to get that back up to a boil. Now, while that's going there, what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to make a slurry. And our slurry is going to help thicken this up too. And we're just going to use a little bit of baking powder. And we're going to go back here and get a little bit of water. And we're just going to mix this up and it's going to become a slurry. Come over here and grab a spoon. Now once that white wine cooks down, and we're gonna add our chicken broth and we're gonna cook that down too, and then help thicken up this sauce, we're gonna add our slurry. And as you can see, now we're starting to go. And it smells delicious in here right now. And this is cooking out all the alcohol out of the wine, so don't worry, your kids can enjoy this because they won't have any alcohol in it by the time this dish is done. Now, what we're gonna do now is add a little bit of chicken broth to this and let that continue to cook down to quick cleanup. Get everything out of the way and let that start to reduce about half. And when we come back, we're going to put this dish together, and it's just going to be delicious. It smells delicious. Stick around to What's Cooking Neighbor. I'm your host, Don Smith, and your taste bud is going on a culinary journey. We'll be right back.
Citizens Bank and Trust Company serves the Taylor County area with 3 convenient locations. Our online and mobile options can make your banking experience even easier, with features such as digital wallet, Touch ID login with our mobile app, and online deposits. Mobile banking also gives you the online control of your Citizens Bank debit card. Along with our banking locations, we also offer a no-charge ATM in the Student Commons on the campus of Campbellsville University. Citizens Bank and Trust in Campbellsville. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
A champion doesn't get days off. It takes determination and drive to realize goals. From long nights to early mornings. From the courts to the classrooms to online. At Campbellsville University, this is why we play. This is how we learn. This is where champions are made. Find your calling for a life change at campbellsville.edu.
What's up, guys? This is What's Cooking Neighbor, and we are cooking chicken picante, and we are just about done. Now everything is cooked down, our chicken broth, our white wine. Now we're going to add our slurry in here to thicken it up just a little bit. And we're just about done. Now what we're going to do is add just a little bit of Italian seasoning for the old Italian grandmas who said I've screwed this dish up as it is. This is for you. Now we're going to come in at the last minute. We're going to add our parsley. Traditionally, this would be basil, but I'm a huge fan of parsley, so that's what I went with. And we just want to incorporate that in there. And guys, that is pretty much it. This is done. All we have to do now is plate up and taste. Now we're going to come here with our linguine. Nice little size right there. Cut this off. Now, come over top with a piece of our chicken and a little bit of that sauce. It smells delicious. There's that white wine, the chicken broth. We have onions and garlic and capers and everything but the kitchen sink into this. Now, we're gonna come over here, guys. That's the only thing we're gonna do now. It's time to taste it. Get some of that chicken and that sauce, some of our noodles. That is delicious. So many different flavors in there with the parsley. It kicks it up a notch. Guys, come back. What's Cooking Neighbor? I'm your host, Don Smith, and let's see what kind of craziness we can get into next time right here. Hope to see you there. See you later, guys.